Hello everyone, it's been quite a while, but here I am again with the newest installment to the Creepypasta Chronicles, the series where we take a deep dive into various creepypastas from across the internet. This episode will be covering a popular cryptid/creepypasta that was created much more recently than others I have covered so far. This is the history, lore, and story behind a fictional cryptid known as Siren Head. In the shortest terms, Siren Head is a fictional cryptid that was created by the artist Trevor Henderson. The unsettling amalgamation of humanoid and machine gathered a cult following of sorts, which has led to numerous types of media across the internet. This includes fan art, fan-made videos, and fan-made video games. Siren Head even managed to achieve meme status in early May of 2020, following a viral TikTok video. The character itself was first debuted by Henderson in August of 2018, with a post to both his Tumblr and Twitter accounts. The post displayed a grainy image of a gaunt humanoid creature, with the head of a stereotypical military siren. A small excerpt of text was included with the bizarre image, providing some story to complement the image. Keep in mind, at this time, Siren Head had no official name, as Henderson did not supply one in his post. It did not take long for this post to gain traction, and before long, people were obsessing over this mysterious creature. As such, on October 31st of 2018, or Halloween if you will, Modus, an independent indie developer, released a game called Siren Head, a PlayStation 1 style horror game for Windows and Mac OS. A little over a year later, itch.io user Thulian Pantheon uploaded their take on this creature in a 2D scroller horror game called Siren Head 1995. With the help of these two games, this cryptid became well known across the internet as Siren Head. As one can imagine, with such popularity in these video games, Siren Head quickly earned pages on iconic websites such as the Creepypasta Files wiki and Villains wiki. SCP Foundation forums user Lord Crunchy even attempted to make Siren Head an official SCP on the SCP Foundation website, but was denied due to licensing issues. At the end of April 2020, filmmaker and TikTok user Alex Howard posted a short video of a massive Siren Head slowly trudging through a populated area as sirens blared and the sounds of gunfire echoed. The clip was made using siren audio taken from 2010 footage recorded during a tornado in downtown Chicago. The post accumulated over 23 million views and 3.3 million likes on TikTok in one single week. This dwarfed any previous popularity Siren Head had garnered, and as you might guess, things only blew up further from there. A hilarious trend was started, where people would take Alex Howard's original clip, edit in some unfitting music instead of sirens, and had Siren Head dancing to the music. It was a bit weird. I'll show some examples on here actually. Gangnam Style. Whoop, 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 whoop on Gangnam Style. Needless to say, Siren Head achieved meme status very quickly. This all reached peak popularity when the one and only PewDiePie posted a video about Siren Head in mid-May of 2020. It is also worth noting that some other well-known video gamers on YouTube, such as Jacksepticeye, made videos on Siren Head as well. Now, there's a lot more to the history of Siren Head than this, including a short film made by Shutter Authority on YouTube, with over 125 million views as of now. However, this video would be well over an hour long if I really dug into every nook and cranny of this cryptid, so we will leave the history here for now. There is not too much to dig into here, as this creature is still relatively new and began as a simple art project. However, I will share some of the information provided on Siren Head's Monster Wiki entry. Siren Head was described by Henderson himself as, I quote, "the static physical form of an unfathomable supernatural entity," end quote. Siren Head is approximately 40 feet tall, can see without having any eyes, doesn't eat despite having organic teeth, is rarely seen in areas with large populations, and is usually stationary but can move very quickly. It uses its telephone pole-like appearance to hunt humans. According to the Creepypasta files, Siren Head is very aggressive and possesses some amount of intelligence. Other than this and its habit of luring people to their demise, not much else is known about Siren Head's personality. The creature is primarily found in the woods, similarly to Slender Man, where it will release sounds out of the sirens atop its head to lure in victims. Ultimately, this will not end well for anyone caught. The Modus interactive game I previously mentioned, Siren Head, shows the story of a park ranger trying to find a lost hiker. The hiker is found deceased in the woods, and with this, Siren Head promptly appears and a chase ensues. The game ends once the ranger escapes in a vehicle. This creepypasta character is quite unique in that a good portion of its lore is told within video games or shown in videos. However, there are written stories popping up around the internet from time to time, if one looks hard enough. As an example, I will now read a short creepypasta about Siren Head, written by user DarthKev696, posted in r/creepypasta. Just imagine you are living in a rural town that was evacuated days ago due to reasons you aren't yet aware of. You ride your bike to a nearby gas station trying to take advantage of the absence of people. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and the stars aren't even visible because of light pollution. Everything around you is still and silent, as if time itself has stopped. No crickets chirping, no birds whistling, no cars driving. You arrive at the gas station after a 12-minute bike ride, and it's conveniently, but unsettlingly, empty. Despite intending to take everything you could, you were kind of hoping to find someone behind the register, someone to talk to. Nonetheless, you grab everything you can and stuff it into your pockets and backpack. You exit the station and suddenly hear the faint sound of a siren. You freeze. You calm yourself, saying, "It's just the evacuation siren again." But you know it can't be, because the siren it would be coming from is on a pole right in front of you. To your relief and dismay, the siren abruptly stops, leaving you in total silence. You begin riding back home. 6 minutes into the ride back, the siren once again returns, only this time, much, much louder. The shock of the noise freezes you in your tracks, and you fall off of your bike. Frozen with shock, you hate the fact that you react this way, as you always imagine yourself running when in uncertain or terrifying circumstances. But alas, you are frozen there. You hear treetops rustling like bushes, twigs and branches snapping violently off of them. Finally, you snap out of it and begin running home. The siren is getting deafeningly louder with each passing second. Your heart is hastily pounding against the walls of your chest. You don't even know what the heck you are running from. You sprint past an abandoned car, and in the faint reflection in its dusty, shattered side of you mirror, you see it. An unimaginably tall being with mummy-like skin, small veins poking throughout. It smells of death, is covered in flies, and has 2 sirens in place of a head. You yell every expletive you know, and you run faster. All you can hear is its blaring sirens and the ringing of your ears. You're running at your fastest achievable speed, but every step it takes is equivalent to 10 for you. It reaches forward and grabs you by the neck with its cold, flaky hands, and you scream into the starless, unforgiving night. It lifts you up to one of its sirens, which is full of dull, crimson-stained teeth. You try to let out one last scream, but it tightens its grip. You close your eyes and feel the worst pain and anger you've ever experienced. Then nothing. Alright, so that's the story. I'm not quite sure what's happening there at the end. As we know from the lore, Siren Head apparently does not eat its victims. So something else could be happening, or maybe the author just took some creative liberty here. But yeah, that is the Siren Head story. Alrighty, with that story out of the way, I think it's time for me to give Siren Head my official horror rating. While Siren Head is certainly macabre, its behavior and story isn't that much different from other popular creepypasta creatures, like Slenderman and the Rake. I've covered both of those previously, check out the videos. The premise here is simple. You have an evil entity that preys on people. I must say though, the design of Siren Head and the unsettling siren noises attached to it definitely up the creep factor significantly for me. Not to mention, the mysterious nature of this creature and just what created it kind of add to the horror. With that all in mind, I will give this creepypasta 4 spooky scary skeletons out of 5. In terms of realism, I don't think I have much to say here. The chances of a massive hulking beast with a siren for a head existing in real life are close to 0. I won't say 0, because I know how probability works, but it might as well be a 0% chance, let's be honest. This is not a realistic cryptid by any stretch of the imagination. However, just like with Slenderman, the concept of a predatory entity that stalks and lures its prey is not inherently unrealistic, so I will award 2.5 skeletons out of 5. Siren Head wins big points for me in mystery. Because the creature debuted as an artwork by Henderson, and is still relatively new, there's not much lore behind it yet, compared to other cryptids. This provides a certain level of mystery, especially when you start thinking about how the heck a creature with a siren for a head came to be to begin with, and perhaps why it was created. I really like stories that get you thinking like that, and as such, I will give Siren Head a 5 out of 5 skeletons for mystery. For a depth rating, though Siren Head is still relatively young, and is a bit lacking in history compared to other creepypastas, as I've said, its quick rise to meme status and attention in the YouTube gaming sphere cannot be ignored. There is much more potential for this cryptid in the future, and I have a feeling we'll be seeing much more of it. Even if not, it has made a massive mark on the internet in just 3 short years. For that, I will give Siren Head 4 out of 5 skeletons in terms of depth. Adding these ratings up, Siren Head gets a 15.5 out of 20 spooky scary skeletons from me, or 77.5%. I would imagine if I look at this creepypasta again in the future when more lore is built up, this rating will only go up further. But for now, a solid C+ is just fine. That concludes yet another installment in the Creepypasta Chronicles. Being on such a new creepypasta, that could even be considered more of a fake cryptid than a pasta, this video was definitely a little bit shorter than previous ones. However, I still enjoyed making it, and I certainly hope you all enjoyed listening in. If you did, throw a like or sub my way, as it really helps me out. Thanks in advance. Anyway, be sure to check out my channel for other creepypasta content, and various other narration content as well if you're interested. Alright everyone, stay tuned, and keep your ear out for any mysterious sirens.